Hello, my name is John and welcome to my NEStalgiaholic series. I've done a number of edutainment game reviews in the past, including Oregon Trail and Reader Rabbit. And for those of you who are familiar with the term edutainment, they're basic games that are designed for educational purposes. In this video, I'll be talking about a game that I have a lot of fond memories growing up playing, and that is Stickybear. This is actually a poster I got with the game back in the day. It's actually in pretty good condition, considering the game came out in 1984. I'll be playing this on the Commodore 64 because that's the version I played at my grandfather's place. But during school, elementary school, we actually have computer lab for about a half hour each day where we go and play games like Oregon Trail, Reader Rabbit, and Stickybear and learn to do reading and math. Stickybear was a series created by Richard Hefter back in 1983. I believe there was a series of books, and then it got ported to a first game in 1983 for the Apple II computer. These line of games are actually still around today, believe it or not, for both Mac and Windows today, which is still pretty amazing. And Richard was also one of the co-creators and one of the co-developers for a line of children's learning books that were called Sweet Pickles. So I don't know if you guys remember the commercials back in the day, but they're like, Sweet Pickles is great. But anyway, it's an interesting line of children's learning books. But I have a lot of fond memories playing this game. So without any further ado, let's take a closer look at the package design, the game itself. Thanks for watching. Here is what the box looks like for Stickybear. You can see it's got an educational award for excellence. Weekly Reader software. Actually, Stickybear was the face for Weekly Reader software for many years throughout the 80s. Bottom left corner here, you got Commodore 64 and 128 computer, compatible with both. Here is the back. You can see there's a whole bunch of different mini games here. And let's open it up and see what's inside. Got that poster I just showed you. Here's what the game looks like itself. A lot of the sleeves were very similar. Here was Stickybear. Important Weekly Reader family software information inside. And here is the instruction manual for how to play Stickybear Math. One thing kind of annoying with Commodore 64 is you always had to put in a prompt code to start, and it just gives you that prompt code to start it at the load screen, kind of like a DOS menu screen. So let's check out some gameplay and see what it's like. I'm playing this game through my SX64 computer, which is essentially a portable Commodore 64. Really cool computer. Here is the load prompt screen I was talking about before. They had to give you a password you had to put in. They do this for piracy issues back in the day, I suppose. So you can just copy floppies. You had to actually type in load prompt. Once the prompt is loaded, I timed it. There's a significant load time. I timed it. It's actually over 70 seconds long before you even get to this screen. And after this screen, it's an additional 28 seconds longer to get to the game. So there is some heavy load times in this game, unfortunately. But back in the day, you kind of were used to it with these computers. It wasn't an issue as it is today for modern day consoles and computers. It's worth the wait because at least you get to see Stickybear juggle some balls. So that's definitely worth a 70-second wait in my book. With all joking aside, the next prompt screen is to enter your username. So you do that, and then again, there's some more loading time. And unfortunately, you can't choose what minigame you can play. Unlike other edutainment games like Reader Rabbit, you can't really necessarily choose what game you're going to play. It's kind of random. You can customize the difficulty. If you're an adult, you can decide how difficult you want, and it automatically adjusts to your learning curve. So if you're getting a lot of questions right, answers right, the questions get harder. If you're getting a lot of them wrong, they'll become a little bit easier as well. So the object is to help Stickybear by answering the questions. So here's the first mini game, and Stickybear is hanging out the window. Looks like he's breaking out of prison. I'm not sure what he's doing hanging out a window. I'm not sure what he would be doing in prison either, but and the first thing you have to do is answer these math questions. So again, more loading, unfortunately. And here's a first problem, 1 plus 4. You notice how it gives you, the math problem also gives you items on there so you can count them as a kid. You can learn to count and use that at tier 8. Eventually those will go away. And if you answer the question right, those items move. And looks like there's a top left corner. Looks like that's maybe Stickybear's hand. I'm not quite sure. Maybe what? He's flicking us off. What's going on? No, I think that's actually a rope. And so there's 5 questions you have to answer per level for each stage. Hey, look, there's Allgengamers whale. Him and his 4 friends. There's 4, and Allgengamers is a podcast I'm a part of. It's an inside joke, I guess, the whale, in case you guys are lost with that. But You answer it, and you hear some kind of Jaws music, which doesn't really necessarily make sense with whales, but it is what it is. After each level on each stage, it shows you a cutscene. Every time it lowers down, objects obviously get Sticky Bear to ground level, and he's yelling for help. So it's going to load to another math problem, and you move on. And here's another problem. Looks like, I don't know, which of those are dreidels or something like that. And here's the final question, and you got to fill in the blank. So 1 plus what equals 2? So you have to do some subtraction. Well, and later on, this game goes. It starts off with addition, moves on to subtractions, multiplications, and division, of course. And we freed Sticky Bear. Now he's running off to let his family know that he broke out of prison. And the next mini game is you're like all of a sudden in this outer space, and you're supposed to build a space shuttle and launch from, I guess you're supposed to be on the moon, perhaps. And same kind of thing, you have to answer questions, and there's 5 questions per level. I think there's 5 levels per stage. And eventually, if you pass all the level in your stage, you add a part to this particular spaceship. As you will notice, the questions do get progressively harder, as I mentioned before. So now, for example, you don't see the items, you can't count them, you got to fill in the blank. And they also, throughout the game, they give you really encouragement, some motivation. Well done. Keep going. That happens about once every stage they do that. Fast forwarding, I have completed the space rocket. Some really cool sound effects here, and it just kind of launches off into outer space and headed home, I suppose. It goes on to the next stage, which is Sticky Bear, and you have to pass these 2 beams, apparently. I don't know where he's going, but in order to do so, again, you have to answer these questions. And again, this time you have another image in the bottom left corner. Every time you answer a question, it rises from the bottom to the top. So I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to represent, but I guess it kind of shows you the progress that you're going through the game. Eventually, once you progress to the stage, you can raise the beam high enough where Sticky Bear is able to cross, and does a nice little jump and thanks you for crossing. You accomplished your mission here. You know, looking back on this game, it brings back a lot of fond memories playing this as a kid. Although today it's not very entertaining because it's very simple. I had hours of fun playing this game for some reason and learning how to do math, and not only that, but there were spelling lessons too that they had different games for. So I'm curious if you guys had ever played Sticky Bear, have you even heard of Sticky Bear before. If you had, let me know. Leave a comment below. And thank you for subscribing, and I will see you soon. Take care.